Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my April TBR. I hope you don't mind the more relaxed vibe today. I am just finishing up work for the week, as in my job at this company. I'm wrapping it up and I'm going away this weekend. So I'm not quite the most presentable I normally am. I hope you appreciate the cozy vibes, but it is time to tell you what I'm going to be reading in April, and let's not beat around the bush, let's get straight into it. The first thing I need to read in April is the Chloe's Crime Scene Corner read, which is Mindhunter by John Douglas and Mark Olshaker. This is inside the FBI Elite Serial Crime Unit, and there is now a Netflix series, which I'm hoping to watch as soon as I read this, because I've wanted to watch it for the longest time, but said I would read the book first. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I run a book club called Chloe's Crime Scene Corner. It says John Douglas has looked evil in the eye and made a vocation of understanding it. In Mindhunter, the FBI special agent who was the inspiration for Jack Crawford's character in The Silence of the Lambs, and who lent the filmmakers his expertise, explains how he invented and established the practice of criminal profiling. He also discusses individual case histories, including those of Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, and the Atlanta child murders. With the fierce page-turning power of a best-selling novel, yet terrifyingly true, Mindhunter is a true crime classic. So who would we be as a true crime book club to not have read such a true crime classic? So that is the first book on my TBR. I then have the Patreon buddy read for the month. So every month, the top two tiers of my Patreon, La Push Beach and The Cullen House, pick a book for us to buddy read. And in April, they've gone for Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. I was gifted this lovely book by Claire over at Books and Ink, and it is the Sprayed Edges signed edition. And I was lucky enough to meet Juno at Yauk last year, so very excited to pick up another of their books. This one though, I'm kind of in the dark about how it's actually gonna read, if that makes sense. So this is an adult book, but it is about witches and witch politics. It says, known as Her Majesty's Royal Coven, they protect crown and country from magical forces and otherworldly evil. But their greatest enemy will come from within. There are whisperings of a prophecy that will bring the coven to its knees, and four best friends are about to be caught at the centre. So I know that Victoria read this last month and absolutely loved it. And yeah, it's definitely time that I pick it up. Very grateful to own this book and so excited to be reading it with the patrons. Leading on from what I just said, I do have a book to read with Victoria this month, and it is The Mysterious Case of the Alperton Angels by Janice Hallett. This one was also a gift from the lovely Jo for my birthday, so thank you, Jo. And I've been really nervous to read more Janice Hallett. I love The Appeal and I hate The Twyford Code. So as book 3, I'm really hoping this knocks it out the park. I've heard amazing things from people I trust, so it's definitely time to read it, and I'm always excited to buddy read with Victoria. So this one is also on my TBR. Then April is gonna be about catching up for me and reading all the books I've been promising to read and just not getting round to. My life got a little bit crazy at the start of this year. I thought I was going to start relaxing after finishing my professional accounting exams, but instead I'm changing job. I did a spontaneous trip to see Cole. I'm going to Turkey. And what else am I doing? I'm just everywhere. I'm literally everywhere, and it's meaning that I have not had the reading time I expected to, which is obviously completely fine because I've done some really fantastic things with my year so far, but I am behind in my reading. First up, with A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. This was my TBR jar pick last month, and I haven't got around to it yet, but it's fine because I do have plans to read it, and I will be telling you about a little challenge I'm doing after I do the next pick. Related to this, so this was the TBR jar pick. I am still going to pick another one this month. That's because I love reading these books. These have been picked by the top 2 tiers of my Patreon, and I really like reading the books that they suggest for me to read. So I'm not going to put it off just because I'm too slow. So let's pick a new book. I am going for this one. Okay, so this is... oh no! This is the fine print, which we actually read as a Patreon, so that one can go. Let's pick a new one, because that one has been read. Here we are. You'll never guess what. This is The Spanish Love Deception, which I've also read. I'm just on top of these books. Okay, this one. Oh, okay. So this is, if I can hold it, Rosie's pick, which is The Girls I've Been. Luckily, it was very easily accessible on my shelves, but this is The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharp. Oh, and this was a gift from Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. This is a YA thriller? It says, to understand my story, you first have to know about the girls I've been. And that starts with my delightful con artist mother, because I didn't choose a life of deception. I was born into it. 5 years ago, I escaped and became Nora, who has a nice, normal life in a normal neighbourhood. Until this morning when I found myself at gunpoint in the middle of a bank heist with my ex-boyfriend and my new girlfriend. Talk about awkward. The first thing I thought was get down. The second thing, we're all gonna die because I stopped to buy donuts on the way to the bank. And the third thing, I'm the only one who can get us out of here alive. Because the gunmen have no idea who I really am. That girl has been hiding for far too long. So this looks like a really fun time. It also looks like something I can easily add to my TBR, so I'm very grateful for this pick. Thank you, Rosie. Okay, so I do now have a job to do after this video, checking that all of the books in my Patreon jar are still relevant, but that's fine. What I do want to quickly talk to you about is the reading challenge I am taking part in this month, which is Bookish Bingo. I've mentioned it a few times before on my channel. I am part of a Facebook group for reading, like a little book club, and I absolutely love it. It's run by one of my best friends over here, Laura, and she always comes up with such fun challenges, and I like to support in as much of a way as I can. So this month we're doing Bookish Bingo, and this is the bingo board I am working from. There were 3 different options and I went for all ones with emojis, and that's because I thought it would give me quite a lot of free reign in picking what books I wanted to read. So I have related all of these prompts to a book, and I will just tell you one of the lines as an example. Because technically that means I have 25 books on my TBR, and we know that's not going to happen, but I will read you an example of a line. So if we go on the first row down to the 4th option, we have a little receipt, and I have taken this prompt to mean a recent purchase. So for this, I'm going to be reading Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. I can't tell you much about this, just that I bought it at 66 books, and it is a YA contemporary that I've wanted to read for a very long time, so I'm finally getting around to it. Next up is the little music emoji, and I took this to mean a title with song lyrics. So I've gone for It's My Life by Stacey Ramey. I'm not going to start singing. Just sing It's My Life in a rock anthem voice and you'll know the song. Next up we have the rainbow emoji, and I've gone for this to mean a diverse read with LGBTQ representation. So for this choice I've gone for The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston, and again I don't know much about this one, I just know that there is some diverse representation and it is part of the Once Upon a Con series that I've been wanting to finish off for a while. Next up we have this little kimono looking emoji, and for this I have gone for a book from a different culture. So I'm going to be reading Night Bloom by Peace Adzo Mehdi, which is a book I received from the publisher after I read her other book, His Only Wife, last year. They reached out to me and asked if I'd like the next book. This is about 2 women from Ghana, I believe. So this is definitely a culture that is different to my own and fits my interpretation of the emoji. Finally, we have the under 18 sign emoji, and I've gone for If You Dare by A.R. Tor. This is the 3rd book in the Girl in 6E series, and I cannot wait to finish this series off. The Girl in 6E is about a girl called Deanna, who is a cam girl and also has murderous instincts. So If You Dare, I feel like there's going to be some cam girl action like we've had before, and some murder, and for that it hits the 18 emoji for me. So I guess that's everything I need to tell you this month. Thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know if you have any strong opinions on any of the books I have mentioned, whether I should be way more excited to read them, whether I should maybe not. But on that note, I guess that's everything. So thank you very, very much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.